Hello everyone, welcome back to the Harmony and Hustle podcast. Today's guest is local Swindon band, Modern Evils. How you doing, guys? You alright?
Hello.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad, thanks.
So I don't really know too much about you guys, to be honest. So maybe start by introducing who you both are, what your roles are in the band, and then a bit of background on the band as well.
Cool. My name's Meg. I've played the drums for Modern Evils.
Best drummer in the world.
I won't go that far.
You're a sick drummer, man.
thank you.
You're a sick drummer at college.
Highly rated.
Thank you, guys. I do appreciate it. We started. It was me and Aaron, the lead vocalist. We've been friends for 10 years or something like that.
Donkey years, isn't it?
Yeah, a long time. And he moved to
A bit closer.
Oh yeah, sorry mate. He moved to Australia for a few years, so I didn't see him, and then he came back, and I was at the Vic after a jam night that they used to do at the Regent pub. I don't know, an old town on Vic Hill. They used to do jam nights every Wednesday. They've moved it to the Vic now, but when that was open.
Okay.
And
the legendary jam nights.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, wacky Wednesdays.
Yeah, exactly. I was at the Vic on a Wednesday, and he walked in, and then we just started chatting again, and then just became really good friends. And then he was making music at the time, his own solo stuff. So we used to just hire out. Back in the day, it was Gatehouse Studios.
I remember Gatehouse.
Yeah, when it was open. We would just rent it out, and he would put in his stuff, and I'd just jam along to it. And they were let's just make a band. Let's just do something bigger and make a band. And then he was I might know somebody actually at my work, and it was Joe.
Enter me.
Yeah, and he messaged you because you posted on his story.
We sort of been speaking for a couple of months, just saying hello and chatting about music and stuff. And I posted a story on Facebook once, just me I'd written something on acoustic guitar, and he came up to me the next day and he was "Oh, do you play electric guitar by any chance?" I was dude, I've been playing electric guitar since I was a little kid. I'm still shit, by the way. I'm not really. But yeah, he sort of mentioned to me, he was look, obviously I do my own stuff. I know a drummer, she's really sick. Do you want to start a band or something? I was yes, mate, I'd be well up for that. Because at this point, I hadn't been in a band for a couple of years, and I love being in a band. I love making music with people. It's it's my passion. And so we set up a practice, and it was just three of us. And I think it was a moment that we sort of looked at each other. We were just doing our own thing. We sort of clicked.
It was
it was just something. I think we wrote
a moment of recognition. You're this could work.
Yeah, exactly.
There was just that moment of magic. Do you know what I mean? And it was now, all right, we've got that. Let's get some other musicians in. And so we got, I think it was Toby next.
Yeah.
And, and then it was just the four of us for, I can't remember.
Probably about a year.
Toby, what does he do?
Bassist.
Bassist, okay.
And then we was just us four for probably a year. And then we did one gig, and we were we need to expand our sound. Mm-hmm. And that's when we got Sam in, who's our...
Sam Rose.
Yeah.
Another guitarist.
Yeah, he's
a banging guitar. He's amazing.
I love Sam. They are great.
Yeah, I've seen him play a bunch of times at the jam nights and stuff.
Yeah.
Loves his Nirvana.
Yeah.
Loves it. He looks a bit like her.
He's got the look as well, yeah, for sure.
He's got that grungy look.
Yeah,
he's got a chill demeanour as well, and that's
he does. He's so soft spoken as well. His voice is always so soft.
he's honestly, he's a wonderful dude and a great guitarist. And he sort of when he came in, he was sort of just in the corner doing his own thing, and whatever it was, it was so. It was just, it added to what we had already, and there was just something about it. And he was at the end, he was "Oh guys, I know I didn't play my best and stuff, but it was we didn't even it wasn't even a question. It was just this guy's part of the band now, and it's been a five of us since, and we've just obviously we're making our music, doing our gigs. It's a lot of fun, man. And I think that's it. There's a lot of love in the band as well. So yeah, it's a fucking good thing.
Nice. So for those people that don't know, what kind of music do you guys do?
Explain to
the listeners.
I actually hate this question.
Trying to pigeonhole into the genre. This will be a big debate now.
Yeah. Or to put it another way, what are you what are your influences by?
What's your sound bite? Yeah. That's about it.
This is the thing. We all sort of got our own influences, and when when we came together, I think there was like there might have been a conversation of like what sort of shit do we want to do, but we never answered that question, and we sort of like just started writing tunes.
Just
do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we just
I like that.
That's
Yeah.
the best way.
Someone
Yeah.
would like play a riff.
It was never like
make us do a
we
drum
want to
beat,
be
and
a
it was just
fucking
like-
hardcore band or
it
we want
was
to make
never-
music that sounds like this. It was like
It wasn't necessary to have
no,
that
it
conversation,
was just like you've got a riff.
yeah,
That
play
sounds
it.
fucking sick.
And then someone
Okay,
would add their
I'll-
bit, and
yeah.
someone else would add their bit. Meg would do her bit. Aaron would just be sat in the corner, like just typing on his phone, and we'd be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And then he'd pick up a microphone and just start spitting absolute fucking bars.
Yeah.
And it was just like magic. Like,
Yeah.
it was perfect.
So I think we take influences from loads of different things. Like I'd say like idols.
Yeah, they
Bit,
got quite big now. They're
Yeah,
idols.
they're-
Yeah.
I've
Didn't they just
love
do
idols.
Glass?
It's kind of crazy
So,
quick
yeah.
how big they've got so far.
Yeah.
It's like because they're not even the sort of band you'd expect to be playing those sort of shows.
Yeah.
you know,
No,
like-
Yeah.
but I think they've
Yeah.
just. I think they've
Their
just got
magic
the
is in them
marketing
doing
like
their own
fucking
thing, do you know what
I mean?
spot on.
It is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we've got some like hardcore elements in there. Like obviously like there is like a hip hop element in there
Oh, yeah,
as
definitely,
well.
definitely.
So it's just like I don't think we try and put ourselves into a box of like what
Good.
we sound
Yeah.
like. It's just whatever comes out, and if you want to stick it in that category, then cool. But I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
don't really
we're
give a shit, do we?
yeah, we
Like-
just make what we want to make, and that's the bottom line. I think we don't really like. It's great if people like what we listen to, but I don't think we want to change ourselves
No.
to fit the agenda of what other people might like. We just want to write what we like, and if people like it, great. And if they don't, then they're not
That's
for
good
us, and that's
because
absolutely
it
fine.
allows you to sort of play with other styles. Like you said, you've got like some hip hop influence
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, you mentioned outside before we started recording that you do the clean vocals.
Yeah, I
and
do like the
guitars.
clean vocal as well. Like I do a bit of shouting and screaming as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, I like for me, I like a lot of like melodic stuff as well.
Yes.
Like I like those big
Me too.
anthemic choruses. Like when I was a kid, I was really influenced by like Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, all
Oh,
that
mate,
shit. Do you know what I
that's
mean?
sick
Like
as
so,
well. Yeah,
like that sort of stayed with me, and that's something that I can sort of bring to Modern Evils as well. And like they allow me to do it as well. Like, you know, I'm always sort of asking the question, do you mind if I take this bit, or can I sing something big here, like, or
Yeah.
can I shout this bit? And like, yeah, you know, I sort of bring a lot of simplicity to the band as well. Like, and sort of like try and sort of structure things a bit. Like if I feel like we're getting off course, like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, right, how about we just sort of focus on this bit and like not worry too much about it. Like let's just fucking
Yeah.
let's
I
come up with something simple.
Yeah, I
do
think
you know what I mean?
everyone has creative freedom as well.
Yeah,
There's not like an
absolutely.
element of like
No one person will take the reins and like
and say no, this bit doesn't fit.
playing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, fuck that.
everyone has their own like part to play, and like obviously you always ask questions. Like I make sure like, do you think my drum part fits this section, or is there something I could do differently?
And
or,
it always does fit.
yeah, it's not because
always does.
I think everyone just like plays what they think would fit, and it just works. And like, don't get me wrong, like there are times we've definitely had to like we're working on something and it's just not working and we have to scrap it. But that's just part of songwriting.
Well, yeah, we just
Yeah,
put it
agreed.
on the back burner. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
and
Like,
then
there's
come-
so much stuff that
you
we've
know,
got on
come
the back
back to
burner
it, exactly.
that we
Yeah.
might think in a later song. We'll think, oh yeah, what if we use a bit of that or take an element of that and like put it into this new thing? Like,
Yeah.
it works. I don't know. Can't explain it. It's just like magic.
Yeah.
For
when
sure.
when I'm with this band, like.
Yeah, that's really good. I think it's like that mixture of like, you know, you've got that understanding, you've got that relationship with your band members where you trust each other to like play the best bit for the song. kind of
Hell
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
And then it's also like, because you've all got different influences, you're not trying to pigeonhole yourself into a certain sound, you're making more unique music from that. It's like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah, I
like the
agree
most
with that, yeah.
original bands, like they have, everyone in the band has their own like influences that are like different. If everyone
Yeah.
listens to the same thing, it'd be less creative.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, say if, like, I'm a drummer, for example, like, I like pop punk, I like some rock music, stuff like that. But if I'm in a different style of band, some of those elements are going to come into the band, and that
Yeah.
makes it more original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mould of, like, different influences, if that makes sense.
Yeah, hell yeah. And not only that, you can like sort of. I think one thing with this band is like we're all sort of like critical of our own shit. Do you know what I mean? Like we all sort of like if I don't know, I can only speak from my experience, but if I'm writing a riff and I think, do you know what, like no, I can do better than this. I can always say to the guys, I can do better than this. Give me a week. I'll come back with something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a song at the moment that
Yeah.
I've got sort of a melody line for it. And
This is what you're talking about outside.
Yeah.
I try not to listen because I was
Yeah.
like,
I was half listening.
hopefully they'll talk
Yeah,
about the podcast.
Well, I've got. We started writing this song, and it was all going wonderful. Like we had this whole fucking thing done in like half an hour, and we were playing the chorus, and I started like. I mean, I just blab words when I'm like trying to think of like a melody line or like throwing shit at a wall and hoping something sticks. And I think it's been about a month now that I've had this melody line for the chorus, and I'm really struggling with the words to fit, and I sort of the thing is I like the guys know that even if it's like the eve before a gig or whatever, they're like, look Joe, you need to get this done, and I'm like, okay, I'll get it done. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just because I'm like I can't let these guys down, but I also can't let myself down, and I don't want to let the whole band down as a whole. Like yes,
I think it's important to be critical of yourself though, because if you think everything you play is hot shit, you're never going to get better. Like you're just not. Like you need to
does that ever like
to...
become an issue? Like I guess with recording, how does that play into when you guys record together? Like if you're like looking at criticising your parts and stuff, you know?
I think depends on the.
We've got an open dialogue in that.
Yeah, we do.
So.
To be fair, like if we're like if say I'm recording drums and I'm like, I want to do that again. That was, I want it, if it's being recorded and released into the world, I want my drums to sound the best that they possibly can. And if I'm not happy with the take, I don't care how many times I've got to retake it. I'm not going to be one of these people that are like, oh, I recorded my drum taken like 3 times. I'm like, that's great, fucking good for you. If I've got to do it 50 times for me to sound perfect and be happy with it, then I'd rather do that than have like a, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, then listen to it like a month down the line.
Yeah,
and
but like,
I should
have just fucking asked to re-record that and make it sound better. Like, I'd rather do that than be like.
I don't think you're alone in that. Like we're all perfectionists. We kind of spoke about this yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like sometimes it can be to a fault, like to a point where like you're never happy with something, but sometimes you just got to like call it a day and say like this is the best I can do at this point in time, and that's absolutely fine.
We're all like our
It's
own.
funny you say that. Yeah, I agree. Like one of our songs, "Pull Me In."
Yeah.
There's sort of a section after our second chorus where I'm sort of like I'm just like singing this word, and I was like listening to it like once before we'd released it, and I was thinking to myself like I could do that so much better. But the trouble is also sometimes you need someone else to listen to it, like a third party, and say, no, that's great. Like you're being too harsh on
I
yourself.
remember you saying that, and I was like, no, Joe,
and I was
sounds
like
great.
so close to messaging the guy and saying, look, I need to fucking re-record that. But with all the other guys and like even the guy that was recording us, his missus, like listened to it, and you know even she said like, look, that's fine. Like you're being too hard on yourself. So I was like, do you know what? Let it slide. And now I listen to it and I think that's banging. I'm glad I did it.
I think it does come down to you have to listen to, because I think no one's ever fully happy with what they've done. For me anyway, I know on my recordings when I listen back to drum takes, I'm like, oh, I wish I did that better. But then I'm thinking like, you've got like a limited time to do it, and I don't think I'll ever be fully 100% satisfied. But that's the perfectionist in me, and I think a lot of people relate.
Yeah, a
to
lot of
that
creative people do.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I make like 90% of the stuff I write on the guitar. I'm like, this sucks. But I just hate it. It's like, I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds like really cool. And then I like program some drums to it. And I'm like, nah, that's wank.
It's like depressing though. Like sometimes I'll play like a drum groove or something, and then I'll like film it and then watch it back, and I'm like, that was fucking shite. Like, what are you
in the
doing?
Moment, you're like,
you're in a moment like, oh yeah, that sounds sick. And you listen to it back, you're like, that's trash, mate. Do that.
See, I don't know what you're fucking talking about when you say that, because every time you play shit or like record shit, I'm just like, mate, that's fucking banging.
Thank you, mate. But no, it's
shit,
just
man.
like I think it's a lot of like for me. I'm like I want to make sure like dynamics sound good, like each individual note sounds good. I'm using the right like technique. I think, especially with you being a drummer as well, there's a lot more than I even realised when I first started playing drums, how much actually goes behind learning the drums. Like there's a fucking lot, that I didn't even realise. I thought it was just fucking hitting stuff. There's a lot more than it is.
Is that not it?
The thing is with drums is there's
I know
like
we've got 2 drummers on for
yeah, no, we can have a bit of conversation
we've
about that.
actually
But
got another drummer on.
Yeah.
So
there's like unlimited dynamics. Like you almost need to learn how. You only get this from actually like recording drums, really, like and playing live and listening to the mix back. Like you have to mix the drum kit almost. Like how do all the elements play together on top of like the whole mix?
Yeah, like if you play the cymbals too hard,
Yeah,
it's gonna overpower the rest of it.
Exactly.
If you're playing like the snare drum on the fucking 2 and 4 too quiet, it's gonna sound shit.
Yeah.
Do you never think, that can be sorted in the mix? Like, do you never
Yeah,
think,
but,
they can
but
just
then I
fucking
think
put like
like
some...
it shouldn't. But then I
Impression,
for drummers,
fix
I'm like,
it in the mix.
Yeah, but
Famous
for
last
me,
word.
I'm
It
just
doesn't
like,
work,
nah,
though,
I
it
don't
doesn't
fucking
work.
want to fix it in the mix. I want to play it right
Yeah.
now. I don't want to have to like that's why I hate when I'm recording, especially when you've got to be like on it with the click. Like I want to make sure that I'm like on it and I don't have to make the producers work for it, because at the end of the day, that's not their job. It's my job to fucking come in there and smash out my shit and make less work for them as possible.
You're
I don't
right,
want them
yeah.
to have
It's
to
just
like
easier to
individually
consume.
pull
Yeah,
back
yeah,
every
exactly.
fucking note. I'm like, you should come in there and know what the fuck you're doing, so
Yeah.
you've got to make them work. You should make their job as easy as possible.
I agree
You can
with
tell
that,
my
yeah.
ignorance in drums right now. As far as long as I just like hit things.
Yeah,
I just let you do that.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking smash it out of the park every time.
Like-
In
I
recording.
get very like syndrome anyway. So like when I'm recording like a guitar part or like a vocal part, I'm literally just like all the fucking time. I'm like, no, do it again, do it
Yeah.
again. It could be
Yeah.
fine, and I'm just like, no, do it again, or
Yeah.
fuck it up. Like,
I'm like, can I just do that one more time? Yeah. It's like, you play it again. Oh, can I actually do that again? It's just like, no, you just got to
I got this
believe
thing
in
like, I can play
yourself a bit
a part
more.
perfectly, like absolutely perfectly, like when we're playing it live or whatever, or like just like when I'm listening to it just before you're like recording. As soon as you
Literally
press
spoke
that
about this
record button,
yesterday. Yeah.
like I'm like, nah, I'll
Yeah.
just fuck it. I'll play it like a 5-year-old. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
I know
like,
exactly what you mean.
fuck?
Like the first couple of takes I'll do drum recording, I'm like, have I like forgotten how to fucking play drums?
With recording especially though, I feel like you definitely overthink recording. You've got like you've got to do that perfect take, so you're almost overthinking what you're
yeah,
playing.
I think you have like for me, I have to be relaxed as possible when
Yeah,
it comes
agreed
to,
on the drums,
and that's
for sure.
why I like recording with Claire, because I've known her.
I was just
for-
about to ask, where you guys like recording your stuff? Like,
Yeah, so
with
we
Claire?
record. So our first single, Claire did the whole thing, Dogfight, and then for the other 2 singles, I recorded the drums with Claire and Sean as well, which is great because Sean's a absolutely fantastic drummer. So it's nice to have like insight from him, and you know I've known them for a while, so I'm comfortable around. If it was like someone that I never knew, I'd be a lot more.
Yeah, Sean. What did Sean have something to do with the academy when we were there?
He
was he a teacher later on. Or?
Yeah, so he was in.
He's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
Yes,
he was
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I think he was in the same year as Dwayne when they did their.
Oh,
degree.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
And then
Dwayne. He's going to come on
and he
soon,
did do.
hopefully.
He did do teaching there as well at some point, and it
That's
was.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think being relaxed is very important when it comes to recording, because if you have a lot of anxiety around the recording, you're gonna get yourself so worked up that actually the end result's not gonna be what you want it to be, and it's
Stiff,
gonna,
right,
you have to
yeah.
be relaxed, and I think it's always better to be over prepared than under prepared. Like if you don't know your parts when you're going into the recording, like at that point it should be muscle memory, and if it's not,
Oh yeah.
then don't. That's just my person. I wouldn't ever go into a recording studio without knowing that I know exactly what I'm doing. I haven't got to think about the parts that I'm playing. It just comes out.
I think it depends on what you're trying to do as well. Like,
Yeah.
because I think going back to what we were talking earlier about like perfectionism, there's also an element of like you're capturing a moment ultimately. Like,
Yeah.
there's never like a perfect take, but it's just this is the moment you're capturing at that point in time.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like
100%.
how are you feeling when you're playing the music at that time as well?
Yeah.
Like that comes across in
Because
your playing.
exactly, because music is such an emotional thing.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the time, it's important on the recording to capture emotion as well. So I think absolutely, it's got to sound fucking amazing, but it's also, like you said, capturing a moment. I agree, 100%.
So, oh God, it's left.
You had
my,
a point that's
it left my mind now.
Fucking
It's
capturing
left
the moment,
my
love
mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so. Your recording process when you were going in to record a track, are you guys doing takes individually, like Or are
Yeah.
you doing it live? So okay, so what do you start with? Like
Drums.
Drums.
We would start with drums.
first.
Yeah.
So you
So
definitely
what do you play? Yeah, I was gonna say,
So
what do you
we-
play along to? Do you play along to guide tracks? Or,
Yeah,
I
so
was
we
gonna say,
make
right,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
little
first.
we
That
make
does
like a
make
little
sense.
demo and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
because
Imagine
like
trying to do that without got like.
yeah,
I've actually done that before.
I'd
It's
find
weird.
it a fucking pain.
It's
I
really
wouldn't.
weird.
I'd really struggle because I'd think. Then I have to worry about counting bars, and I hate counting bars. Like I should be better at
You can
counting
play
bars.
to the music that
Yeah,
way, like by
yeah,
doing it to guide
exactly.
tracks. So,
and I
yeah.
think like, oh yeah, I don't counting bars just winds me up. I know it's bad. I shouldn't be like that, but it does. Like especially when it's like
No, fucking
in a
right, 'cause you're
recording
like,
session,
yeah, you're-
and I want to be in the
you
You
moment.
lock
I
into
wanna
the
have to
music.
be-
You lock into
Yeah.
the music as drummer, so it feels weird to do. Like, really does.
Yeah, especially because like a lot of the like drum parts as well. For me, for what I write with Modern Evils, and even just with like crew stuff that I've done, like a lot of the time it is just playing covers. But I always try and like mix up a little bit just to make it a bit more interesting for myself, because playing ABBA every day to like 70-year-olds just gets a bit mundane sometimes. So I'd rather
Tempted
like
to put, a bit of double pedal into whatever.
so a lot of the time, like, and I like to write alongside like vocals a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like little embellishments, like if Aaron's doing like a certain like vocal phrase or
Like
something.
hitting syllables at a certain
Yeah,
point in time.
I
you
like
can,
to try
match
and
that, yeah.
match that in a way with drums, because I feel like it just makes it a bit more interesting. And obviously, as a drummer, you have to lock in with the bassist as well. And there's a lot of like, yeah, I just write whatever comes out. I don't really think about it. I just play, and then hopefully it sounds good. And if it doesn't, I'll write
Well,
something
you
else.
Just sort of
Fucking
adjust
works, to be
from
fair.
there.
Yeah,
like,
I don't really think about. I'm just like, right, this is all right. I'll just play something and see what comes out. I don't ever like sit down and plan out or write what I'm gonna play. I just
I
hit
don't
stuff
think
and hope it works.
anyone really does, do they? Like, I mean,
It depends on what music you're doing, right? Like, say if
Yeah.
you were playing like Dream Theater, for example, you'd have to write down the charts because there's no way you'd be able to like actually
Yeah,
record
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, if there's something super complicated, you have to. But then that's like a very niche style of music, But like for general like pop rock music stuff like that, it is pretty much more.
so
of a feeling.
different for like drummers and guitar. I don't know, yeah, because
Yeah.
like I said, you like work from you can work from charts and stuff. Like,
You
as
can.
guitarists, it's all like
I'm not a
it's
fan
all
of that
just
at all.
memory. Like, I'm like, I know what note
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
next. Like
Yeah, that's it.
in this or again,
Yeah.
like you said, Meg, before, it's like muscle memory. You just you
Yeah.
stop thinking about
You
it.
do.
Like so.
And as a band, really, I think like especially when you're playing live, that's where you want to get to with a live performance in your set, like to a point where, because when you're like going to gigs, and we talked about this on another podcast, like and you're just tired and you've been like traveling and your playing isn't going to be as good as if you were like fresh. So you kind of have to get to that muscle memory point with your set and your
Yeah.
performance to be able to like give it your all.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you have to think about what you're playing
Yeah.
as you're playing it, it's not going to sound. To me, anyway, I know for myself, if I go out there and I'm like, oh, this section's coming up, and I'm really nervous about it because I haven't got it down yet. I'm going to think about that specific moment in that specific song of the set for the whole set.
Every
And-
guitarist before a solo, like
Oh, so you
Straight up.
Oh, fucking hell. Right, the one
my
solo,
moment. It's my moment.
the one solo that I have now, I'm not like a lead guitarist. Like I like simple guitar, like you know what I mean, chords. Like, but
Yeah.
I do the solo in Dogfight, and every fucking time when we start Dogfight, I'm like, right, got to remember that. Got to remember how to put my fucking fingers. And I get to the point where I overthink it, and then I fuck it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it might not even sound shit, but like in my head, I'm like, no, I fucked that up. Oh no, what happened? And then
Yeah.
like I'm just dreading the next day when someone sends like a video to the group chat, and I'm just like, please don't be that bit. Just please don't like that. But like I feel you on like muscle memory, because obviously when I'm singing as well, like I want to get to the point where I'm not thinking about what I'm playing on the guitar so much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to be like
Focus
more focused on the singing and like what, because like you might like change something up depending on the feeling, or if you know in that line for that end word you've got to drag it out. If you're out of breath, you might need to change it a little bit. And like that's what I want to be thinking of, and not thinking, oh
Yeah.
fucking hell, where are my fingers going next? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you on that. Absolutely feel you on that.
I think you've just got to have fun on stage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Trouble is, I also get mad stage fright as well.
Yeah.
Now I mask it by like acting like a cocky bastard. Like I don't know if everyone see me on stage. I just look like nothing can fucking touch me. I don't care. But inside my head, I'm like, oh god, do I look stupid? Like what's going on? Especially because I wear fucking dresses and shit as well, and I'm always worrying like, oh, is my fucking wig gonna come off? Like, is my fucking mooncoat gonna like run down my face and make me look like a fucking idiot? Like, so it's like, in a sense, like I've kind of challenged myself. Like I've put an extra fucking handicap on myself to like give me something else to think about. It like really winds me up, man, I tell you. But yeah, I think I said to the band the other day, I was like, look, on our next gig, whenever that is, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna wear a wig. Just it's too much. It's too much hassle, too much to worry about. But then it's something that we've sort of been known for now. Like the cross.
You can't stop now.
So it's like, oh, do I or do I not?
I think you just got to
I
do
don't
whatever
even
makes
fucking
you...
do it. On the day, I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, because you've done that a few times where you're just like, oh, I'm not going to dress up, and then you turn up
Then I
and
turn up
full
and I'm
glam,
like,
and you're like, oh, okay, fair enough, you changed your mind today, fair enough. But at the end of the day, mate, wear what you want.
Oh yeah.
Really
It's nothing like that. Like I don't give a shit.
It's kind of like getting into character. That's how I look at it. Like when I was in Men Invest, like this. Well, fucking I'd wear this, and I'm becoming like my stage character. Like
you're kind of someone else.
It's not. It is me, but it's not me. Like
it's a version
of
you, really.
It's like
That's
a different version of me,
absolutely.
and that gives that helps to take away like the nerves for sure, as well as a bunch of pints of beer.
I always have to have at least two glasses of wine before I go on stage. I've always got to have at least two, just to.
There's like a fine line of like the beer taking away the nerves, and then.
Oh no, I am drunk.
Yeah, that's
shit.
funny. I've got to the opposite with drums. I'm like, I have to just have 1 pint anymore and it gets sloppy.
Because that's what happened at our gig at the Vic. I was like crapping my pants because it was Twin Skeleton we were supporting. And I was like, they're really sick. Nah, man, I got smashed because I was going to fuck up.
Oh, I've done it.
And then I ended up like being shit. And they were like, what, like 15 people watching?
Yeah, exactly. No one knows. No one knows your songs.
That's the beauty.
But it wouldn't have been so bad if it was like loads of people because you got nothing to focus on. But you just all you can see is this like one group. And you're like, fuck, I just look like a twat. But it was good fun. Like, it's all part of the energy and
it's all
in
part of
the moment stuff.
Well,
Experience. That's the one I'm looking for. Yeah.
I think you've got to learn the hard way sometimes as well. What your limit is with playing. Like I'm doing like cruise ship work as well. Like
you still doing that now?
No.
Is that with Sam?
Yeah.
Lawson? Yeah, he's my boss now. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like 2020. I think our last like just before COVID. But like we would like because there was like especially on sea days there was like nothing to do. So like. You just drink and then you just go on the stage and like you're like there's like I don't know about 12 7-year-olds like playing to fucking ABBA. You're like, do you know what? I'm just gonna have a few cocktails.
It's a blast, really.
Let's just quickly talk about that for a second, actually, because there's something like unique that we've not actually, it's like a good talk about like the cruise ship work and stuff. Like, how does that? I don't know how to word it.
How did you get into it, and what was the experience like?
What was your experience like, and like what? And what was like describe like your day.
A typical day on a cruise ship.
So
like
the first
what you
day,
do to keep busy and
the first day you get on the ship is the worst because you've got to travel there. Then you have to do like an induction. It's like a 2-hour fucking like
just like
boat
a safety
health
thing.
and safety induction. And then once you've done that, you take your stuff over to the venue. Then you do sound check. Then you've got like an hour to get ready before then you have to do the sail away. So when the ship's leaving the port, you're playing on the deck. And then you get like, I don't know, like an hour or 2 hours before you have to go down and do your, like, to eat and then, like, carry on getting ready. And then you do another sort of 3 or 4 sets a night. And
so you're playing, like, all day? Basically.
On the first day you are. The second, on sea days, you'll do, like, a lunchtime set.
I'm guessing that's what it sounds like when the ship's
when it's not,
sea,
when it's like not docked at a port. So then you get, like, then you've got to do, like, a lunchtime set, and then in the evening you'll do like 3-4 sets, and then if it's a docking day you get up, you go and see the port around for a bit, and then you leave a little bit earlier because then you have to get back and do the sail away, and then it's sail away, and then like 3 sets in the evening. So, but after your set, obviously it's like midnight or whatever. It's hard to wind down. So you just go to the crew bar and then the crew bar happens.
Have some bears.
And then that's to be fair. That's probably why I don't. I'm not really a drinker anymore because I've worn myself out of it because that's just because there was just like nothing to do on the like there is, but like not especially I guess because there's other like musicians and comedians on board as well, and it's kind of like I think it's more of like a social element as well.
Yeah.
But then you just but we learnt like 35 songs a week, and then we're like practicing, but then we also had to do ballroom. But
it's quite intense, really.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it definitely massively improved my drumming because you played
35 songs a week. Sorry, I just like.
Yeah, it's mad.
That took a while.
When you're thinking about what that actually means, like it's quite a lot of work.
I'm like learning 2 songs a week maybe at the moment.
Yeah.
Max, and I'm like, I can't do this, man. Like,
that was like pre-joining, but then you also have to add on like when it gets to Christmas. You have to learn Christmas songs. They're a fucking bitch. I hate learning Christmas songs. Some of them are really fun. There's this random one fucking Coldplay song that's just an absolute like it slows down and then it speeds back up, and like playing it to a click, especially when you've got I don't know if you know what karaoke version is. It's like they can take out elements of the like songs, so you've got like if you want the guitar in the backing track and you don't want any drums or like don't want vocals, and then you add the click over it. And it's just a bit, and then we had to do ballroom, so we had to learn like loads of ballroom songs in like a limited amount of time. And me and Hannah, we were like learning the ballroom songs. Like, all right, let's sit in our cabin and learn the songs. We ended up falling asleep, and then we had the ballroom like the next evening. And we were like, we're actually fucked. And I remember at the time, the other members of the band.
Those drum charts start to come in handy.
Yeah, no, literally. And a lot of the time, like I hated making drum charts. I'm like, I just want to learn it. Like I can't read drums for shit. I'm terrible at it. I'm just never. I can read like very basic drums.
Yeah.
There was also another time where basically the drummer in the orchestra of the last ship I was on. He was like 72 and he had like a heart attack, so I had to like fill in.
Oh,
and I was
my
like,
God.
and I was like, I've never played in a fucking orchestra before, and they were like, they basically didn't give me a choice.
There's no
clip. There's no like click, so they just go. And you have to stick with that tempo for like the rest. And if you're like slowing down or dragging, I'm like, this is fucking That was a very interesting experience, but I wish I could have been more prepared and maybe given the option rather than like, you don't really have a choice. And I was like, I've never played ballroom. I've never played in an orchestra before. I don't know these songs. And the guy was just like, it's fine. Just play it basic. And I was like, yeah, but you're not a drummer, mate. Like, respectfully, I'm now having to learn like things that I've never done. And then they obviously put reading charts. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to try and wing the bass. I just had to wing it basically and hope for the best.
There'll be someone in the crowd like, you're not following the chart here.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, you're not going to get that from me, unfortunately. So I just had to wing it. But it was a very interesting experience for sure.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds absolutely fucking terrifying. That'd be like a jazz band being like, you're the man, you need to do jazz tonight. And
I felt like fucking Whiplash and like the coordinator was like, get on my tempo. I was like, I fucking can't, there's no click.
For a fucking chair to come flying at me,
Yeah, it was very interesting. It's a lot of fun. Like it was absolutely amazing. I'm very privileged because I got to see a lot of beautiful places that I probably would never experience seeing before. So I don't take it for granted at all. It was absolutely amazing. I did love it, but it was a lot of hard work because you don't get days off on some of the contracts. Like the last contract we did 4 months, and it was like no days off.
4 months out at sea?
Yeah. Obviously, you go into ports and stuff.
Yeah,
that was the longest contract I did was 4 months, but you don't get days off. You just
don't. You come back to land 4 months later and you got like a big wedge of cash. I'm assuming you're not spending fuck all whilst you're out there. Like,
I mean, the only time you're really spending is the crew bar and when you're out on ports, but everything on the
they charge you for drinks, like on
but mate, it's so cheap. Like,
is it?
Yeah, like back when I smoked cigarettes, it was like I could buy a packet of fags at Marlboro Gold, so not great. but I could buy a packet of fags for £2.50. And I was like,
On
yeah.
my job, man.
Yeah. It was, and the drinks were like, we could buy a bottle of like a cocktail, you could get it for like half the price.
That's
so like
good.
my parents booked on a cruise before when I was there, and they just sent me a load of money, and they were like, you can get this for us.
Get
because-
us drinks.
Yeah, they were like, you can use your discounts, you can get us. But I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like if you're spending money
funny.
to book the cruise, then yeah, I'll get your drinks. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, no, it was a great experience. Just
I think I'd
a
have
lot
been
of alcohol
dead.
consumed and a lot of sunburn.
Yeah, so it's I think that's the point I was trying to make earlier. And my train of thought fucked off. Like that's like purely like a financial reason for doing that.
It's an experience as well.
It was,
though.
yeah. For me, it was like ever since I started playing drums, I was like, this is what I want to do. Like there was never a
play
doubt in my
drums.
mind. It's just like this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I want. And now it's like, obviously I'm working just a regular job, but I want to pursue like the band. Like that's where I want it to go, so I can carry on potentially doing it full time like I was. Like, and if COVID wasn't a thing, I'd imagine I would probably still be doing it, because like it was amazing. Like don't get me wrong, like you do get times where like certain venues on certain ships are terrible, and it's like the crowd is not receptive, and you like if you're
They're in
playing
their own world,
and
sort of
it's
thing,
like
yeah.
you get told to like stop playing by passengers, and they'll like tell you to turn down. I'm like, I can't turn down a drum kit, I'm
classic
sorry, that's
turn
not
down,
how it works. And like,
Hit
you
the
get
snare
people
drum
that-
quieter. No.
yeah, and you get people
I hate
that
that.
come up to you. Like I remember we were setting up to do like a set on the deck, and this woman came up to us like, oh, are you setting up or packing down? Like, oh, we're setting up. She's like, oh, for God's sake. And I'm like, all right, I'll just
Sorry,
go.
no.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just go fuck
Do you
myself,
want
it's
it?
fine. So I was like, you can leave if you want, you don't have to do like you're knitting
stay.
by a pool. Go in your cabin and knit if you've got an issue with it, love. Like I'm just doing my job, unfortunately. Like I don't want to be out here when there's 4 of you and it's a waste of
I
an
would have
hour of my
dedicated
life.
every single song
Yeah,
to the lady
yeah.
knitting.
Yeah, this one
Hey,
goes
I
on.
love this one's for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it even louder now. You sassy. Yeah, it was an experience for sure.
Man, I'll take my hat off to you because I can never. I can't stand like learning songs. Like even just in my free time, I'm just like, yeah, it depends what it is really. Like I like doing solos, but I'd never do it because for me it's all like I just like playing my own stuff. That's like part of me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I definitely.
that's why I've
yeah.
not been in a cover band or anything. 'cause I'm
See,
just like,
people ask
I'm not
me.
about it. I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'm
I know
just
what you
fucking
mean,
fuck
mate.
off.
You
Because
got to feel it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all for like the money stuff, and but it's just not fun. Like,
No,
for
it's-
me anyway. Like I
Yeah.
fully take my hat off to people who do it. I'm just not one of them. I've never understood.
It's different.
Yeah,
I find it fun where, because obviously I've been a cover band. It's just like rock and
you
pop
are.
covers.
Yeah, but I'll happily come and watch you guys and like.
But it's just the fact that like compared to originals, not many people know your songs. Like in a covers
Yeah,
band, everyone can be
yeah.
singing a song, even if you're playing like
Yeah.
Mr. Brightside or something,
That's-
right?
that is the
At
best
least
part
everyone's
about it.
jumping and singing along, and
Yeah.
you do get that experience from
yeah,
it, and you do
when
get paid.
when
so
it's a
like-
good night, like
Yeah.
especially if there's, because we did like certain theme nights.
Yeah.
If there's a theme on a night and like it's like a tropical night, and you know there's going to be loads of people and like up and dancing, like that side of it is great. It's very rewarding when you're playing something for other people to enjoy, and they're enjoying
Now
it.
I'm actually feeling
And
it.
like
Yeah,
that
fair
part
enough, yeah.
is like it's really fun.
That's like the
but,
reward for it. For
yeah,
you, yeah.
but for me it still doesn't beat the feeling of when it's your own music and
Agreed.
people
And
are
you've
people
people-
are
yeah,
receptive
even if
to
there's
it.
only like 3 or 4 people
Yeah,
in the crowd that are
and
like, really feeling it,
I
just
would
like,
take that over playing on a ship when like
Yeah.
loads of
Yeah.
people are like fucking going crazy to Proud Mary. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
great. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, but like I'd rather be playing, and especially when it comes to like playing my own stuff. Like I want to play my own drums, because like some of the songs is like, especially like, I hated doing rock and roll because every drum part is the exact
The
same.
same thing,
And
yeah.
it's just it gets quite tedious. And like some of the songs were like, I actually hate playing the drums to this song, because there are like certain drum parts you're like, this is so boring to play.
just the beat the whole way through, and like
Yeah.
1 or 2 fills or something.
Yeah,
you're
and
just
it's
like,
just like, oh, this is
yeah,
just
I
not-
agree with that one.
Sometimes it's just like, this song's really fucking boring, but then other songs are really fun to play. So it's all about balance, I think.
Yeah, agreed. So for you guys, like, how do you approach like promoting yourselves, marketing the band, stuff like that? Be good to hear a little bit about that.
I love that you like huffed them because
it's literally just telling your friends, really. It's like just trying to get as many people into the show as possible. And like obviously, when you get your friends there and they're having a good time and they're enjoying it, the people that aren't necessarily your friends, like they sort of get into it as well, or like they might hear something and hopefully it's sort of a cascading effect if they'll tell their friends and like. But it's also just about like getting out there, getting gigs that and just playing. Like I mean, I've played shows. I don't think Modern Evils has ever had a bad show. Like I don't think we've ever had a poor turnout. Like we've not done like loads of fucking gigs, but we've always had like a pretty good.
Yeah.
The one you did at the Vic, I unfortunately had to go like quite quickly, but it looked pretty damn busy. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, this is even our first fucking gig.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's just like fucking pestering people to come. To be honest with you, it's a lot of like, and I think you have to do that. But then
you coming tonight?
Yeah, but then they do come, and luckily
hopefully
for us,
they'll bring a friend or two,
yeah, I think for us, like luckily we've in Swindon we've been able to build like a little bit of a fan base where like
I agree, definitely you have,
where like a lot of people like to, our Swindon shows are usually pretty, which is great. Like it's just, I still can't quite get my head around it when like we're playing a show at the Vic and you've got people like singing every word and it's just like that.
Because they're good songs, man.
Thank you, man. But it's just it's kind of it's a bit of a weird. I was a bit overwhelming to be fair because you've literally just sang every single word. Like you must have listened to it like so many times and actually enjoy the music. Do you know what I mean?
There's even with Men Invest, there are people like that. Like when we did the Levels gig,
we've got a little bit of a fan base now.
There's always like. I always remembered like it's the same group of girls that'll come to every gig.
There's the same crowd that
singing along, and I'm like, what the.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you
like the songs more than I do. Like
the best thing for me is I've got two 13-year-olds, right, and I like my daughter. She's always like, oh Dad, I'm listening to your song, and like she'll like be singing the words. I was in the car with them a couple of weeks ago, like. And it was Pull Me In that they were listening to. Yeah. And I was like, wait, do you guys know the words? And they sung the whole fucking thing.
Oh
really?
Wow,
and
that's
like,
amazing.
My son, like he's
did they know it was your track, like your band's track, or did they just find it?
Oh yeah, they knew.
Oh okay, that'd have been even cooler. This band.
But the thing is like they're telling their friends as well. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Like it's crazy,
cool.
but like my son, he's like he loves Pull Me In, and I taught him Pull Me In on guitar. He's just started playing the guitar a couple of months ago, and I taught him Pull Me In. And like, when I go up there, like, and I hear him practicing, and he's playing like the riff that Sam wrote for Pull Me In.
Yeah,
it's
like, mad,
it just gives me like an immense sense of pride. Like I just think, like, fuck me, we must be doing something right.
Like you're his influence, like
so crazy. Like
who or what influenced you? Like how did you get into music? Like
I've been into music since I was like a fucking tiny little kid. Like I got a twin brother, and we used to it was like Mark Almond and Soft Cell before my dad came into the picture. Like my mum had a video that was just like a collection of their music videos, and we'd like watch it. And then like my dad came into the picture, and he had a VCR with like Def Leppard, and we had like this football table thing that had like blue legs, and I think it was like 3:00 in the morning. Me and my brother were down there like rocking out like air guitar and these fucking things, and my dad just came down, looked around the corner, and then just went back up to bed. Let us do our thing. So like I've always been into music, and I've always wanted to play guitar. Like I started playing properly when I was like, I think it was about 14 or 15 when I wrote my first song. And like, I was really into like pop punk
seriously.
I was really into like AFI and like obviously like Linkin Park and all that shit. Yeah, like it was just I don't know anything that I like that I vibed with really. Like it didn't have to be like rock. It didn't have to be heavy. It was just whatever I vibed with. I mean, I listened to pop music as well. Do you know?
I was listening to Hanson the other day, and I went out of my way to listen to a bunch of their albums.
That's it. Mbop is still a fucking Mbop,
everyone always thinks of Mbop, and I was like, I'm going to actually go through their catalogue of albums. I sat there at work and listened to like 7 hours of Hanson, and there's a lot of good songs on there.
Yeah, they got some tunes, man. They got some tunes.
So,
I've always been into music. I've always loved music, and like when I was in my first band, like with my brother, it was just like
that must have been cool.
Wow, this is like this is what I want to do. And I've been in bands over the years. And like we've never had like as many people at shows as like we have with Modern Eagles. I think the most we had was like 10 or something like that. I thought, yeah. But then like obviously like with Modern Eagles, it's such a different experience than I've had in previous bands. Like someone always wanted to take the reins, and I'll be honest, like a lot of the time I wanted to take the reins in the songwriting in previous bands, so I've had to sort of like check myself a couple of times.
I've had that definitely, like,
Do you know
been
what
in
I
a
mean?
similar
Like,
situation, got like quite protective over my songs, and had to sort of
and
consciously
how they sound, because you can hear them in your head. And you want
You're
to
like, no, this is
translate
what I
that
want.
to
But sometimes you do have
but
to,
you
like,
have to
sort of
like
let go of it.
take that step back and say, oh,
Ego
these
check
guys
yourself,
know what they're doing.
yeah.
Like, I can't tell a drummer what to do because I'm not a fucking drummer. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
I know what you mean.
Like
I can't tell, like if I'm playing and I've got like but I wouldn't be able to tell you I want you to play this note because I don't know what note it is. Do you know what I mean? It's just like.
But then there is that thing of we give feedback and like we're pretty honest with each other and we can always say like, oh, do you know what I mean? I'm not feeling that. Like, can we try a little something else?
Yeah.
And then if that new thing doesn't work, you can just say, all right, do you know what? Fucking do your thing, or like I'll say to like Aaron, like, what do you think of what I'm singing? And he's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's all about serving the song.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you have to put like your own needs and wants and ego behind and sort of just Yeah, and it's
so
serves
easy
the song.
to do with these guys, man. Like it's so fucking easy to do. Like there's no like ego. There's no like it all comes from a place of like best serving the song and like best serving each other. Do you know what I mean? Like helping each other be better musicians.
I think it's important to give honest feedback.
Yeah, honest feedback. Like and
even if something
come
sounds
from someone
fucking
like you
great,
than someone in a fucking crowd that's like throwing a fucking pint at the stage or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think, but we
Have
also
you had
give
that?
feedback.
Sounds like you had that.
I've not had it in Modern Eagles, but I've had it in previous bands. Like.
Have you?
Yeah, fucking right.
For a point
Really?
up on stage.
God.
I don't give a shit. I was just like, fuck you, what are you still doing there?
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to listen to it, like. But that's where my fuck you side of my personality comes out, do you know what I mean? Like, and in a sense, I've had to, you know what I mean? Like, I'll walk around in fucking Pinehurst and Penhill with makeup on, for fuck's sake. Like, that you have to, like, stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing when you're on stage.
That's fucking
you know what I mean?
brave. Yeah, fair play. Pinehurst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Walking around there in like regular clothes is scary enough. Like,
to be fair, like I've lived there like my whole life, so it's like
It's normal.
you're
normal.
down with
There's
the crowd.
But yeah, you always get like some 14-year-old little roadman wannabe that like wants to open his mouth and you're just like, fuck off, you little shit.
Always got taught growing up. Always in Swindon, avoid everywhere that begins with P.
The P's.
Or ends with a hill.
Yeah.
Like Gorse Hill, Penhill, Pinehurst.
Yeah.
See, there's really there where I spent my childhood and like where I've grown up, man.
That's
So
how
it's
you innit?
It's
So,
crazy
yeah.
to me, like, because I hear that a lot. Like we were talking about it, like where I work yesterday, because we got a couple of people from out of town, and like, I was just thinking, like, this is not my experience at all. Like, obviously I've had shit, but I've had as much shit there as I've had like like fucking posh parts of Swindon. You just think, hold on, like,
Posh
is there
parts of
really a
Swindon.
fucking difference? Yeah. Where exactly is he talking about there?
Where's that?
I'm guessing where we are, Wittgenstein. I don't know.
Probably old
I've
town
only
as
just
well.
moved
It
there.
seems to just always look nice around here. Like, you know,
It's because it's all new there,
Yeah,
that's
I
why.
don't feel like I might get stabbed. Like,
We jumped around quite a lot.
We're allowed to talk about Swindon like this because we're from.
Yeah.
I assume you guys are. Well, I definitely.
Yeah, man. No, I think Swindon's a great place. I don't think it's any worse than anywhere else, to be perfectly
No.
honest. And
I think people slate it too much. The town centre is a shithole, and I will say that it is. It's a ghost town. It's just like Freemark and nothing else. But
Where's the hope for the music scene, though, guys? Let's think about that.
do you know what? I actually
digressing a little bit.
it's getting back to where it should.
Yeah,
be.
I'll
we
tell you,
speak
I've
about
seen
this
a
all
lot
the
of
time.
good bands around, like
Yeah.
a lot of bands that I think should be a lot bigger than they are. Like,
Yeah,
a lot
for
of,
sure.
a lot of talent.
Yeah, there is a lot of
especially
talent in
like, and I
Swindon.
think,
There's so many musicians, and so this could be like a proper creative arts, like music town, if the council helped out a bit more with like
Venues.
facilities and
Yeah.
fucking venues, because
Yeah.
there's the Vic and
Level 3,
Levels now,
and that's it.
That's it as a music venue. Like when we were at the academy.
What's it called now?
Levels.
It's
Yeah.
called. It's just called Levels.
Levels, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Have they had any gigs there recently? I can't remember off the top of my head when
I've got one this month for men.
Oh, of course you do. Yeah. Oh, and the Crows. The Crows played
had one
there
last
yesterday.
night,
Yeah, another local band. Paul from that band's been on the podcast, so you would have heard him talk about the Crows a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, there's only the two main venues. That's the issue. But we talked about it before.
We talk about it nearly every episode. Yeah. We're just like, fuck, need some more music venues.
We do. But this is why I think the Vic, I'm like very, very grateful to the opportunities that they've afforded us. Like, this is why I think they're so important to like the music community. Like, you cannot overlook the Vic. Like,
no,
like
not at all.
Like, they're like part of it. Do you know what I mean?
They really are. Yeah,
and everyone who goes there, like they all know each
music.
Other and stuff. Yeah. So Darren's like a really great guy, and he understands how it is, and we'll get bands on again, and then again, and
and he's willing to take a chance on people as well.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do.
Yeah,
but we do need some more venues. Like, let's be honest, we do need some more venues.
We do,
but I think that's a council decision.
Yeah, it's just getting people to the venues as well.
Location's like a big thing too. Although when we were at college and stuff, we go to Riff's Bar, like out in the middle of nowhere. All the time.
Even Riff's Bar and 12 Bar as well.
12 Bar. That was at the bottom of
town. There's a lot more
venues,
but then
a lot more specifically music venues, not just pubs. Whereas the Vic is a music venue. It's got like the pub bit upstairs, but it's got a proper stage.
Because everyone's like, oh, there's loads of pubs to play in Swindon, but like realistically, I know like for like covers bands and everything, like pubs to play in are absolutely fantastic. But originals music.
They don't book it.
They don't get like original.
The audience don't want to do it. They all just want like Oasis, Mr. Brightside, Kings of Leon. If you play that, exactly. Proud Mary, like I said earlier.
They want something to listen to when they're drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like listen to this shouty, screamy song with
you never
some
have
soft
like
bits.
Ben and Bess play the Merlin or something.
That's why the cities do well, because they've got like people that go.
Although we did play at a pub when we went to Bath. Remember the Royal Oak?
Yeah, that was sort of an originals gig. I mean, there wasn't many people there. There was there. It was a very weird.
But it is a pub, but it's known for like loads of originals bands play there. It's an odd one. That one. That one's a bit of a.
It's very small, isn't it?
Yeah. That one's a bit of a unique one in that sense, but yeah. Anything else?
Cool. I think we'll wrap it up there. Is there anything else you want to leave the audience with? Like talk about.
Where can they find you? Like
we've
I'll put all the links in the right place.
We've sort of been taking some time to sort of ourselves and like to sort of regroup and refocus recently, and I think we're hitting the studio over the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on our socials and stuff, because we will have some tracks releasing. Within the next couple of months, and we'll be sort of ramping up our gigging again soon. I think that's
Instagram,
really or on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify.
Every
checks out the
Spotify.
That
you should make a little YouTube channel and do a little making of like video diaries when you're recording and stuff.
It's not
in the studio.
That is not a bad shout at all.
I think we do need to get better.
A lot of bands started doing that, so it's like good,
Well, you've got to go and do the recording anyway, so you might as well just film it and use it as content at the same time.
Exactly. It's not a bad shout, because we definitely are quite bad at promoting. To be fair, that's definitely something that we need to get better on.
I've really stupid, funny shit in practices.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's what we need to do.
Do like little skits and stuff.
I personally have an aversion to TikTok. I don't know what it is. Like, that's a personal thing.
It's a weird platform, but you do get a lot of like organic reach. So like, it's good for finding new people that might like your music and your band.
You see loads of like musicians and bands that have actually just blown up because of TikTok.
That's it. So, that's like, what the youth are nowadays, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Because it appeals to the people that wanna, that if people, they help find your listeners, I suppose, and like a lot of people, like, I'm not embarrassed to ever like promote myself on TikTok, so I'm just like, mate, if I have to post a video on TikTok and it gets the banger, and then absolutely,
I'm gonna start.
Like, you've got to put your pride aside and how you feel about certain like platforms and things like that. Like, I find it embarrassing posting like stuff on like Facebook sometimes. Like, I don't ever like put,
I just think I look shit in all photos.
And like, especially like getting myself out there like individually, like posting. Like, I used to do it, but I just get so self-critical, and I just find it really, like, for me, I just find it embarrassing. But I know I need to put my pride aside and be like, no, the only way you're going to get yourself out there with yourself and with the band is to actually just fucking do it and stop being a pussy, basically, and just fucking put yourself out there. That's the only way that, you know, you're going to get yourself out there, is just to ignore everything, ignore what other people might think, and just do it.
Yeah.
Problem is that like, there's so many different social media platforms now. Like, that's why I struggle with it, because you got TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. That's like the big four.
Yeah.
It's just hard to
and it's
keep
just
up,
like,
isn't it?
God, I've got to put this one on this one. This one. We're just starting, like, we should be better with it, like for this podcast. But yeah, I think we're going to start using TikTok to start
do more clips, 'cause for this one
like
specifically.
little
I've done that with
clips,
my old ones, and it's super helpful.
Yeah.
But
Instagram Reels as well.
Yeah. See, I'm starting to feel old because I don't understand. Like,
I don't get Reels
Oh,
either.
dude,
it's all like, it's so intertwined, and like
it's really simple. It's a small clip, right? And you get a lot more organic reach than just a post. That's
Right.
pretty much it. It's basically TikTok on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best way to think about it.
But then there's Facebook Reels too. Is that the same? Oh, because Facebook and Instagram are meta now, aren't they? So it's all the same bullshit.
Wow,
Is
yeah.
that right?
Your data's been shared between WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook now. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like so confused. I can't keep up
I don't know.
in technology.
Digressing a lot, but anyway, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys.
I'll make sure,
Really
I'll make sure
appreciate
the links are all in the right places, and links to so they can go and listen to your tracks and stuff. And yeah, when's your next gig coming up? Have you got one coming up soon?
Yeah, when was it? Oh, what date was it?
It was on the 23rd of this month, but it got cancelled.
Oh.
Which is really annoying. So
When are we
hopefully...
playing that?
17th
Midlife Crisis
actually,
one?
yeah, 17th of August.
17th of August, 8 o'clock. I think it's over Swindon Super Marine or something
Yeah.
like
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this
Cool.
podcast will be
That'll
out after that, so.
We'll have one arranged but after this comes out at some point in the future, but don't know yet. When.
We'll put all your links.
We'll put all your
in the
links, people will be able to
description,
find it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
listen to this thing.
Yeah, nice
Cool.
one.
Oh, nice one, guys. Yeah, no, it's been really great. And hopefully have you on again once recorded
Yeah.
an album. We can talk about it.
Yeah, sounds
Now
good.
we got enough for it. Now we just
Yeah.
need to put our fingers out.
All right, nice.
Thanks, guys.
Nice
Really
one.
appreciate it. Thanks for
No,
watching,
thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
See ya.
Cheers. Bye.
Yeah.